The National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has declared last Saturday's Edo State governorship primary election inconclusive. According to reports that the exercise produced 3 factional governorship candidates, following violence and controversy that trailed the conduct of the exercise in Benin City last Saturday, with Honorable Dennis Idahosa, Senator Monday Okpebolo, and Anamero Dekeris Camps laying claims to victory at the primary election. However, the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Felix Moka, disclosed in a statement after an emergency meeting of the NWC late Tuesday night that the party's national leadership has now fixed Thursday, February 22, 2024 for the completion of the exercise. Joining us now on the show from Benin is Prince Emmanuel Odigie, former commissioner representing Edo Central on the board of Edo PADEC, former Deputy Director General of the dissolved Tinubu Presidential Campaign Council, and APC leader, Edo Central. Prince Emmanuel Odigie, thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruben Obati. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, very quickly, the APC has now declared the primaries in Edo APC inconclusive and now scheduled the exercise afresh for February 22, Thursday. What is the mood within the party in Edo State, and what does inconclusive really mean? With 3 persons, 3 different factions laying claim to a victory, does inconclusive mean that there will be fresh primaries? What exactly does it mean in your own understanding?
Thank you very much, Dr. Abati. You know, when an election is declared inconclusive, it should naturally mean that they should begin from where they stopped. 18 local governments were already declared when thugs invaded the collation center, beat up the electoral officers, the returning officers from various local governments. Even your pressmen were not spared. Destroyed laptops. I'm sure by now you would have seen the press conference by Edo State NUJ. You know, Ruben Obati, it's sad and disappointing that in the 21st century, you know, the president of today, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, fought for the democracy we have today. It's shameful and sad that in his own party, a leader of the party is perpetrating such violence and bringing thuggery to Edo. You know, Edo has grown beyond all this. We've never experienced such thuggery in the history of our political, since the creation of APC. You know, every 4 years, only one man wants to dictate what happens in Edo. This is unacceptable by Edo people. And it's unacceptable by the entire leadership of APC in Edo State. I think I appreciate the National Working Committee for doing the right thing, for ensuring that the will of the people was not subverted by one man. And we hope that His Excellency Hope Uzodinma, which was highly, protested against for being the chairman of that committee, if we do not want them to return him, we would expect that the National Working Committee, in their wisdom, also ensure that they send a different chairman. A chairman, a governor, a leader that came to chair a committee. Your committee members were beaten up. One of them almost got blind, Ruben Abati. I myself have to go and rescue some of them from hiding in the toilet. Big men crying, women beaten up, their phones stolen, their watches lost, money and valuables, chains, wedding ring. For what? All for the ambition of one man. It's not that his preferred candidate is the most qualified. He's not a Harvard-trained economist that would come and transform Edo. And the guy is a young man. He's just 42. He's in the House of Rep. I can assure you that Idahosa he's not a desperate young man. I know him. He's a God-fearing young boy. All this is happening because our leader, who I respect so much, just want to get to, it's about his 2027 ambition to become Senate president. He just wants to use this young boy to gain access to Edo State Treasury to fund his ambition to be Senate president. You know, you must not set the party on fire. This is the party that gave Adams Oshiomhole the privilege of being governor twice. Even now he's sitting senator. He was national chairman. I know Adams Oshiomhole very well. I'm a researcher and an analyst. I've researched his antecedents. He's a man who cannot be on the passenger seat. He always wants to be at the driver's seat, at the helms of affairs.
All right.
Trace his history as a labor unionist. He went for the highest office and became the NLC president. From there, he came into politics. He lobbied his area more and everybody, Captain Osa of blessed memory, and everybody he needed to speak to, leaning down, lying down, begging them. They made him governor. He was governor for 2 terms. He enjoyed massive support from the good people of Edo. Having left there, because he could not bear to be ordinary floor APC member, he plotted the removal of His Excellency John Odigie, the former governor of Edo State, who was national chairman then. And some of us supported him to be national chairman. You know, of course, you know why he was removed. You know, he was removed and went back to Edo North, ensured he took his ticket from his friend and his Sako brother, Senator Ele Michela, became a senator. And now the focus is how to become Senate president. You know, if God has taken you this high, Ruben Abati, Rufai, the great Rufai, and my sister Ayo, if God has taken Adams Oshiomhole this far, NLC president, 2-time governor, national chairman, now a senator, must you be Senate president? If it's God's will for you to be Senate president, God will make it happen for you.
All right.
You don't have to burn down the party.
All right.
Go and see what has happened in our state secretariat.
Well,
It's shameful. It's unacceptable in a 21st century democracy. Asiwaju, the leader of this party, fought for democracy. These people want to truncate and assassinate.
Okay.
And I trust him to do what is right for the Edo people.
okay. Thank you, Prince Emmanuel Odigie. Spoken very passionately, and of course, it's obvious to
Thank
see
you,
that
Thank you, gorgeous Ayo.
this means a lot to you. Now, with regards to the supplementary elections or the elections that will be taking place since it's been declared inconclusive, what are the changes that will happen? What will differentiate, or what are measures that have been put in place to ensure that what happened during the primaries, initial primaries, would not take place in the elections to come? So, for instance, there were complaints around, there were, 3 returning officers, or who had the responsibility to announce results. At some point, was it the chair of the electoral committee, in this instance, Senator Hope Uzodinma, governor of Imo State? Or was it the returning officers that should announce who emerges as a flag bearer? And then there were obviously what you've mentioned, issues around violence. What measures has the National Working Committee, the Edo State chapter, the APC chapter in Edo State, what measures have been put in place to ensure that there's no repeat of what is going to happen tomorrow? I believe Thursday is when the elections will take place.
All I think the National Working Committee need to do is to appeal to our leader, Adams Oshiomhole, to please allow peace in Edo. To please allow free and fair primaries. Haba. This is APC, his party.
All right.
You know, all we need is peace. We need a peaceful atmosphere to conduct these primaries. Whoever emerges, you know, it's going to be even difficult. Ayo, the gorgeous Ayo. It's going to be difficult.
Prince, let me just
Yes.
come in here. My apologies for interjecting, but I wanted to just say, are you saying
Yes, please.
that the center of the entire problem, not a structural issue, not an issue with other people, just because all you talked about this morning is Senator Adams Oshiomhole? Is he the only problem in APC Edo State? And so what you're saying then is that if they can just talk to him and he accepts, all will be well.
Absolutely. You know, in Edo, this game started immediately after the Asiwaju won the primaries. His boys first threw a dummy. Oh, the closest person to the president is our leader, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. He's the only one that has the president's ear in Edo. If you want appointment without Adams Oshiomhole, you can't get. He's the only recognized leader from Edo out of whole lots of leaders. He's the best friend. Asiwaju loves him as much as he loves his wife, the first lady. Everybody is at his beck and call. If Senator Adams Oshiomhole brings Hush Puppy, the Yahoo boy, the president will adopt him. Whoever he brings, even if he brings Lawrence Anini, the notorious criminal, the president will adopt him. If he brings Evans, the kidnapper, he will be adopted. And some of us said, look, one man cannot have. They said, no, don't talk. Oh, he's the best friend of the president. Oh. The president loves him. Oh. Nobody have access to the president better than Oshiomhole. If you want to get contract, even yesterday, gorgeous Ayo, my business partners called me. They said, Prince Odigie, be careful. You know, we have proposals to do business with Niger Delta Ministry. They won't give us contract because Oshiomhole controls the minister. And I told them, my friends, power belongs to God. We have been doing contract and doing business. We shall continue. If Adams Oshiomhole tells the minister not to blacklist our companies, so be it. We'll go elsewhere. You know, this only one man deciding for everybody. Gorgeous Ayo. Is that young man the most credible aspirant? Is he an Harvard trade economist? Does he have the international connect to attract development to Edo? What has he got to offer Edo people? What has he got? This man was in Oshiomole's government. We knew what he said about this same young man before he was sacked as commissioner or advised to resign. You know, this man is just 42. In 8 years, he will just be less than about 50. I can tell you, Idahosa is not desperate. It's not about him.
Okay.
Why the desperation? He's a sitting member in the House of Rep.
Okay.
He just got there just a few months ago.
Prince Odigie, the funny thing is you can't speak for Dennis Idahosa. Good to see you, sir. He has a right to his own ambitions.
He has a right. I know him.
So you can't say he's not desperate and all of that. He has a right to
him.
his own ambition, and his right should be respected.
That's
but you've been casting a lot of aspersions on the person of Mr. Oshiomhole. I would have loved the case where Mr. Oshiomhole can be here. And please, Mr. Oshiomhole, please, I want you to be here on the show to be able to react to all of this. Is it because you have your own faction? Now, what faction are you? Are you with the Eze-Iyamu camp that think, it's time for Edo Central, so that's why Eze-Iyamu had stepped down for Edo Central? Is that your camp? And why is it that all of a sudden, the Oshiomhole that was your crown jewel before, after all he had done for the party and all of that in Edo State, now you're pushing Oshiomhole in the dark and saying all these things about Oshiomhole?
The great Rufai, good morning. I appreciate you. And I admire your style of doing what you do. I will tell you, I am one of Adams Oshiomole's greatest supporter. I love him. I respect him. He's my in-law. We worked for him. We've done everything necessarily to support him within our power. I am an advocate for power rotation. That was why we worked for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I believe strongly in power rotation. Edo Central has been cut off totally. Edo Central has never been governor, deputy governor, chief of staff, secretary to government for 24 years. The great Rufai, it will amaze you to know that when Adams Oshiomhole was when Lucky Benedion, since 1999 till date, Lucky Benedion of Edo South, Benin, was governor. His deputy chief, Ogiadome, from Esako, Edo North, deputy governor. When it was supposed to be central, of course, the court truncated it just 16 months or 12 months thereabout. Professor Osumbo, who is also on the ballot, a two-time senator. And Adams Oshiomhole, our in-law and leader, came on board for 8 years. Naturally, we expected Adams Oshiomhole, our leader, the then governor, to support one of the best from Central. He said no. We did argue with him. We fought, went back and forth. He said Obaseki is Obaseki. Okay, we believed in his judgment. We supported Obaseki. Obaseki came on board. I was a commissioner in that government. He fell out with Obaseki, and there was mass exodus out of APC. I resigned as commissioner in loyalty to APC in support of Adams Oshiomhole, and we started fighting Obaseki, criticizing him everywhere. But thanks be to God, out of the 6 roads I criticized Obaseki for, he has done 4 in Central. He's just awarded 1 in my village. And I hope before he leaves in 8 or 7 months, he would have done the 6. And I would tell you that any lover of democracy should also believe in fairness, equity, and justice. And for the sake of inclusion, it is the time for Edo Central to produce the next governor. Edo people, all over the street in Edo, is Esan people, not Edo people. Are they not Edo people? Oshiomhole should let Edo people breathe. Esan breathe. He should let us breathe. We have the finest politicians right now. He should have looked for one of us and say, yes, Central has been cut off for 24 years. We have never been governor deputy. We have not had any position in government house since 24 years. And to Adams Oshiomhole, who fought for the president, power rotation, power must come to the south, is now fighting for Edo South to continue in government for 16 years. Haven't done 16 already. He wants them to continue for another 8 years, making straight 16 years and 24 years in a row without Edo Central. The Great Rufai, is that fair before man and God? Come to Edo. Esan for governor everywhere. Edo Central people are part of us. We live together, we intermarry, we do business together, we are friends, we went to school together. Why should they be so marginalized? And it may amaze you to know, the Great Rufai, that Adams Oshiomhole is an in-law of the Esan people. Why does it despise us? Let the will of the people prevail. Allah is the advocate of one man, one vote. All this is just because of his ambition to become Senate president.
Okay, Prince.
What has the man got to do? Has he got international connect to transform Edo?
Prince Odigie?
Yes, the Dr. Robert.
Yes, Prince Odigie.
Thank you, Dr.
As we begin to wrap up, I mean, you have taken more or less the same position as Honorable Paul Ohonbamu, who was also on this program this week. Will it be correct with what you have said about zoning, briefly, that your preferred candidate is Senator Monday Okpebolo? And will you say that beyond Oshiomhole...
I cannot hear you, Dr. Ruben.
Okay, I'm saying you've taken the same position more or less with Honorable Paul Ohonbamu. Is Senator...
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, but we don't have much time anymore, so maybe we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I was just going to remind him that, look, when we had Senator Honorable Paul Ohonbamu, he said more or less the same things about the turn of Edo Central, about, Oshiomhole, and in any case, he was also very critical of the process, and he pointed out that Okpebolo, who is from Edo Central, is the right person. So I just wanted to clarify that he is also a supporter of Senator Monday Okpebolo, and whether or not the matter, in fact, goes beyond Oshiomhole, because there have been some stakeholders who say that, in fact, it's the presidency is involved, and that Oshiomhole was just doing the bidding of the presidency, contrary to what the National Working Committee of the party had decided. So it's like some conflict between the presidency and the National Working Committee. And the bigger problem in APC, in my view, in Edo State, is a lack of internal democracy. So that's the big issue. But we lost contact with him. Hello, Prince Emmanuel Odigie, are you back with us? Can you hear me now?
Thank you, Dr. Abati. I'm here.
Okay, we don't have more time. I was just saying, what you have told us today is more or less the same thing we had from Honorable Paul Ohonbamu earlier in the week. So is Senator Monday Okpebolo.
Which is the absolute truth.
Well, is Senator Monday Okpebolo your own preferred candidate, given what you have said about zoning? But don't you think this matter goes beyond Oshiomhole? Is it possible that Oshiomhole is doing the bidding of the presidency, and that the presidency and the National Working Committee of your party are working across purposes, and that there is an issue about the crisis of internal democracy in your party? Briefly.
I can assure you, Dr. Abati, that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who have estrayed his antecedent, would ever be part of any anti-democratic process, thuggery, forcing of aspirants in position. That is not Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There is rumor everywhere that they will use federal might to do whatever they want to ensure that Oshiomhole's candidate goes through in the general election. I told them, the president who did not rig election for himself in Lagos State, who did not do it for Oyetola or interfere in the Supreme Court judgment, a president so blessed as he became president, he is now chairman of ECOWAS, a position President Obasanjo never held in 8 years. I disagree that the president have anything to do with this.
Okay, you are saying yes, Adams Oshiomhole is on a frolic of his own. But it's Okpebholo, your man, your preferred
He's on his own. The president will never.
Yeah, but you are supporting Monday Okpebholo.
Okpebholo was not my preferred candidate. I am for a different candidate from Edo Central. But if the majority wants him, so be it.
So who is your candidate?
So be it.
Who is your candidate?
My preferred candidate has opted out. He has opted out.
Okay.
And now the majority wants Okpebholo. And so be it. If two frontline Edo South leaders, the finest politician in Edo, Pastor Segi Izeyamo, who worked tooth and nail to ensure that Oshiomhole became governor, and the former deputy governor, Chief Lucky Maswe, could withdraw for a candidate, an aspirant. That means the aspirant is very popular.
Okay, Prince Emmanuel
the aspirant
Odigie.
is popular. That's why those two great politicians.
Prince Odigie, thank you very much for joining us on the morning show.